executing the plan, I get in the game, boom, I get an and one. Yeah, I get a block shot. Yeah, I get a rebound. I mean, I'm balling, having a ball. This is going on state playoff game, my junior year, first half. AT is out there making it happen. Come on, let's get it, right? What's up? How you doing? Welcome back to A Moment in Time with yours truly, Aaron Thomason. I'm super excited that you're with me, but I want to know, as always, did you bring somebody with you? Did you give us 3 people? Are you letting people know that we're getting better together? All right, so here's what I want you to remember now. In this space, I'm going to let you into my business a little bit, and I got a little bit of a sensitive story that I want you to be gentle. All right, so remember, clarity breeds confidence. That's what we always talk about here. Clarity breeds confidence, and if we understand who we are, where we are, and ultimately where we want to go, we can take the next step in the direction of our goal on that path for sustainable success with clarity and confidence. All right, so I talked a little bit earlier this week about personal versus personal impact, or facts versus feelings. All right. So I had to tell a story. I want to be able to tell this story, and I want to tell this story, and I was contemplating which one I wanted to tell. But I remember this, and again, some of my stories are basketball related. And I remember this story. I was in high school. It was actually my junior year. I was playing basketball, and I really didn't start playing basketball seriously until I was 14, which was my freshman year. But by the time I'm sophomore, junior, getting better, but I'm behind a lot of my counterparts and constituents. And so there's a state playoff game against, some names I could tell you that's not important. But I was a, pretty good role player on that team. And coach in practice all week said, Aaron, here's what you're going to do. Here's all I need you to do. Do this, do this, do this. So I was, listen, I want to play. I want to get off the bench, right? So I'm going to execute this. I'm executing the plan. And as I'm executing the plan, I get in the game. Boom, I get an and one. Yeah, I get a block shot. Yeah, I get a rebound. I mean, I'm balling, having a ball. This is going on state playoff game, my junior year, first half. AT is out there making it happen. Come on, let's get it, right? Second half comes. I don't get off the bench. Be clear. I did everything coach asked me to do. I played phenomenally in the first half based on what he told me to do. The statistics show it. I don't get off the bench in the second half, and we lost. And I'm going to tell you, that was my junior year. I probably was feeling some type of way about my coach up until we had this conversation at my house. And I think it was getting ready for a home visit. He came to my house, and a home visit is basically when a college coach comes to your house and they talk to your parents about them wanting you to participate or be a member of their university or their basketball program. So we had a home visit coming. My coach was there, and he looked at me on his way out the door, real kind of intently like, and he says, I know you taking that personal. I'm like, huh? He said, I know you taking it personal that I didn't play you more in that game. He said, but from a strategy perspective, you did exactly what I needed you to do. And had I kept you out there doing that, they would have figured it out, and you wouldn't have been in the best position possible to be successful. I was actually a little bit mad, because that actually made all the sense in the world. Because here's the thing, I was very aware I was not that good at that time. I wasn't. I wasn't that good. He gave me specific instructions, and I did not have the ability or skill set to kind of improvise or to pivot, so to speak, or to do something different if the defense did something different. And all of a sudden, I felt the air kind of come out of all my tension, because I, for the longest, was telling myself a story that it was personal. Now, it had personal impact because we lost the game, and I was disappointed that I didn't play. But the story I was telling myself was, Coach don't really like me. I can't believe Coach did this. It was super, I made it personal. And because I made it personal, I wasn't able to see the objective basketball facts that it was actually the best thing for my team to not play in the second half because my skill set was limited, and The lever that coach pulled, that strategy that he put in the first half wasn't going to work in the second half because they were going to do what? Make adjustments. As a former basketball coach, I know this. But as a high school teenager who just wanted to play and you frustrated that your team lost, you in your feelings. So I'm telling you that. Had I taken an opportunity to walk through the steps that I talked about in the previous video and just said, what is his resume? One thing I can tell you about my coach, his resume was all about he's going to do what's best for us to win. And sometimes it was people who started. It was sometimes people that didn't play a lot. Everybody caught it with him. What part do I play? How could I make that better? The part that I could have played, is I could have been a better basketball player. Because guess what? Being a better basketball player would have allowed for coach not to be limited in his strategy and how he used me, and I could have played the second half. Third thing, since I understood that I needed to be a better basketball player, if I went through that, guess what happens then? Go be a better basketball player moving forward. So when that time period comes up, guess who's in the game? And guess what? When that time period came up in the future, guess who was in the game? I got all the other steps right, but I took the first one, I didn't recognize my coach's resume, and I made it personal. And that was a lot of wasted energy. That was a bad story that took a lot to go through to unpack it, because now the information that coach gave me basically popped the air out of my balloon, and now all of a sudden I don't know what to do, what animosity, what emotions, what feelings to have to drive myself to get his attention and actually be better on the court, because actually everything that I told myself wasn't true. And that's what I want you to go through. If we can walk through those 3 questions, you will get to a point where you'll understand what you're feeling about the person actually might not be true. Yes, you have personal impact. Yes, I was disappointed we lost. Yes, I wanted to play more, but it wasn't personal. And we will make things personal that are not personal. We disrupt our relationships. We disrupt our progress. We abort and disrupt our dreams, because all of a sudden we're assigning motive and indicting character in places where it does not belong. That's why I wanted to take a moment to double click on this in this moment of time, for you to understand that it's okay for you to have personal impact. Those are your feelings. I'm never telling you to turn those down. But I do want you, before you get a chance to start assigning motive to businesses, organizations, and individuals, please check their resume. What part could you have done different, and what are you going to do moving forward differently? So when the situation presents itself, it will be different. Me as a basketball player, I went and worked on my game, so that wasn't going to happen again. That's what I want us to sit at. That's what I want us to think through. And that's where I want us to be this week. So here's what I want you to do. All right. Thank you for dropping by. Let me make sure I say thank you. And then I want you to give this away to 3 people. Give it away. 3 people need to get out their feelings. Okay. They need to stop taking stuff personal, but being able to embrace the personal impact that it is and stop assigning motive to somebody else's character. But here's what I want you to do this week. If you did it earlier this week, I want you to do it again. Because most of us got more than one situation that got us in our feelings. I want you to walk through those 3 questions. I want you to go through, what's the resume? All right. What's your part? And ultimately, how can you be different moving forward? And when you have some answers to those questions and you want somebody else, like myself, this dude that's been working for you for weeks after weeks, and you want some help, click the link below that says book now, and let's get on each other's calendar so we can now take the next step in the direction of the goals that you want to achieve for sustainable success. I appreciate you as always, and here's the one thing I want to leave you with as I always do. Just because you started out on this journey to get better, it doesn't mean that you weren't already good. So until next time, I'll see you then.